Hello everyone, welcome back to SSB Crack Exams. I am Sakshi and we are going to discuss daily current affairs as on 16 September 2020. Before beginning, I would like to introduce you with SSB Crack Exams. It is one of the leading institution if you're preparing for defense examination like NDA, CDS, AFCAT, Territorial Army. And for more details, you can always visit our website ssbcrackexams.com. There you will find the entire package of courses, mock tests, quizzes and study materials. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our social media platforms like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and Telegram. You can also download our mobile app SSB Crack Exams from Google Play Store. So let's start our session and we will start with the question of the day. And in the yesterday's session, I asked you what is meant by hybrid warfare. What is meant by hybrid warfare? So many of you have answered and many of you have answered it correctly. See, it refers to a non-military tools. Since the word warfare is used, so it is a non-military tool to achieve dominance or to do damage or subvert or influence any other rival. And these tools include information pollution, perception management and propaganda. Basically, it blends with the cyber warfare. Okay, it blends with the cyber warfare, or you can say other influencing methods such as fake news, diplomacy, lawfare, foreign electoral interventions, all such things. And it basically targets individuals and institutions in what? In politics, government, business, technology, media and civil society. The hybrid warfare was used in the year 2006 in Israel and Lebanon war by Hezbollah group, okay, and also it was used by Russia, and Russia used it against the Ukraine in the annexation of Crimea in the year 2014. It was earlier used as well. See, it was a news since recently it was reported that a Chinese company which is named as Jinhua Data, okay, this particular company, information technology company, this is monitoring over 10,000 Indian individual and organization, okay, VIP people in its global database of foreign targets. They have foreign targets and they are monitoring these individuals, and they are monitoring the database of these individuals, and this information, it can be used for the strategic and intelligence services of China by hybrid warfare. So this particular company, it monitors digital footprints of its targets, okay, they monitors the digital footprints of these targets, and they use artificial intelligence tools across social media platforms, and they maintains an information library which includes content just not from the news sources forum but also from the papers, patents, bidding documents, even the positions of the recruitments. So they are monitoring everything, and it is suspected that China is now using the hybrid warfare tools against India. Okay. So now let's start our day with the first important major news that we have today. It is about the inauguration of Namami Gange Yojana and Amrut Yojana in Bihar. So PM inaugurated several various projects under Namami Gange Yojana and Amrut Yojana in which state? In Bihar state. So the Prime Minister inaugurated various projects, and these projects include sewerage treatment plants at Biur, Karam Lichak in Patna city, water related projects in Siwan and Chhapra under the Amrit Yojana, and water supply projects in Mungar and Jamalpur River Front Development Scheme under Namami Gange in Muzaffarpur. So let's revise what is Amrut Yojana. What is Amrut Yojana? Amrut stands for Atal Mission for Regeneration and Urban Transformation. This is the Amrut, okay, and it was launched in the year 2015, June 2015. What is the objective of Amrut Yojana? Amrut Yojana, the objective is to establish infrastructure that could ensure adequate, robust sewages network and water supply to urban transformation by implementing the urban revival projects. Okay, this is basically giving the adequate, robust sewage network and water supply project. Next is Namami Gange project, Namami Gange Yojana. It is an integrated conservation mission approved as flagship program by Union government. It was launched in the year 2014, June 2014. What is the aim for Namami Gange? Aim is to accomplish twin objectives of effective abatement of pollution and conservation and regeneration of national river Ganga. The main and the basic objective is the regeneration of river Ganga. So under Namami Gange project, the main pillars of these programs are sewerage treatment infrastructure and industrial effluent monitoring, riverfront development and river surface cleaning, biodiversity and afforestation, of course, and public awareness about the same. These are the main pillars of this program, Namami Gange program. So this is all about this. Now let's move ahead. The next update we have is about the India becomes the member of United Nations Commission on Status of Women. Now India became the member of UN's Commission on Status of Women. We'll study what is UN Commission on Status of Women. Okay, but India has been elected as a member of this particular organization. Please remember, United Nations Commission on Status of Women. It is a body under ECOSOC, Economic and Social Council. Now India will remain a member of this prestigious body for next 4 years. That means from year 2021 to year 2025. So let's study what is UN Commission on Status of Women. It is a principal global intergovernmental body. It is exclusively dedicated to the promotion of women and empowerment and gender equality. Of course, the establishment of this particular intergovernmental body was done on June 21st, 1946. Now let me tell you what is ECOSOC, Economic and Social Council. It is a principal body. It is a principal body for coordination, policy review, policy dialogue and recommendation on the subjects like economic, social and environmental issues, as well as the implementation of internationally agreed development goals which are related to these particular segments. See, UN Charter, it has established ECOSOC in the year 1945 itself, and it is one of the 6 main organs of United Nations. Write it down in the comment section. What are the 6 main organizations of the United Nations? So ECOSOC, it has 54 members and these are elected by General Assembly and for overlapping 3-year terms. India is a member of ECOSOC from 1st January 2018 till December 2020. Now moving ahead, and next important update we have is about the prediction by ADB, Asian Development Bank. Recently they predicted that Indian economy is about to shrink by 9%. So the prediction of Asian Development Bank, it says due to the pandemic, obviously due to the pandemic, due to the COVID-19 pandemic hit, the Asian economy, particularly Asian economy, it is going to shrink for the first time since 1960. The shrink was done, the major shift in the economy was done in the year 1960, and now in the year 2020, the Asian economy is going to watch the shrink. And they also stated that the period will continue until next year with the downfall in the levels of growth as projected before the pandemic. Talking about India, now India's economy is expected to contract by 9% this year, even worse than the 4% contraction it had forecasted 3 months ago. ADB had forecasted the India's prediction, the contract in the economy by 4% 3 months ago, but now they are predicting that it will shrink by 9%. However, they are expecting India to bounce back with 8% growth next year after the release by COVID-19 pandemic. So let's discuss about Asian Development Bank, ADB, very famous bank every time in news, and we have discussed it already, but we are going to discuss it again. So ADB, it is a regional development bank. As the name suggests, Asian Development Bank, so it will be a regional bank. Obviously, it is for the region which is Asia. Establishment was done in the year 1966. Headquarter of Asian Development Bank is in Manila, Philippines, and the aim of this particular bank is to promote social and economic development in which area? In Asia. Okay, so this is the aim for Asian Development Bank. Now guys, today 16 September, it is celebrated as World Ozone Day. So today, 16th September, it is a World Ozone Day. This is very important day, many times asked in your defense examination as well. So please do remember this day, 16th September, World Ozone Day. So World Ozone Day, it is observed on 16th September every year. On this day in 1987. In the year 1987, Montreal Protocol was signed, and since 1944, World Ozone Day, it is celebrated, which is established by UN General Assembly. So this day, it reminds people about the depletion of ozone layer and to find the solution to preserve it. So the theme, or you can say the slogan for this year, is Ozone for Life. What is the slogan? It is Ozone for Life, and this is the theme and the slogan for the World Ozone Day 2020. Now I'll be telling you the current COVID-19 situation in India. So only 1/5, 20% of the total cases are active now. You can see these are the first I'll tell you the active cases now. So it is 20.08%, which is 9,90,061. The recovered cases are 78.28%, which is 38,59,399, and deaths have reached to 1.6%, 64%, 80,776. In this chart, you can see states with highest rate, with highest tests and their respective positive rate. So here you can see positivity rate, and here you can see the total test conducted. In Delhi, Odisha, West Bengal, Gujarat, Karnataka, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, Madras, Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh. These are the total test, and this is the data of the positivity rate. Okay. Now it is time to revise the session. Now let's revise the entire session with the quiz. Try to answer these questions. So the first question is, when does Namami Gange project was launched? When does the Namami Gange project was launched? In the year 2014, in the year 2015, 16 or 2020? So Namami Gange project was launched in the year 2014. So A is the correct option. Now next question is, UN Commission on Status of Women established in 1946, 47, 1999, 2000. So UN Commission on Status of Women established in the year 1946, and India became the part of this particular organization. And the most important fact is, China and Afghanistan was also in the race, and India and Afghanistan, they became the member of UN Status on Women, but China couldn't get the votes. Next question is, where is the headquarters of Asian Development Bank? Where is the headquarters of ADB? Beijing, New Delhi, Kathmandu, Manila. So the correct answer is, the headquarters is in Manila, Philippines. Now it is time to question of the day. Try to answer this question in the comment section. So the question for you is, what is Prasad scheme? What is Prasad scheme? Try to write it down in the comment section, and we will discuss the complete detailed answer in the next session. Till then, work hard, stay motivated. Jai Hind.